changing teams are moving on. 3 big-time players have all left the series to go full-time Cup racing. At the top of that list, the defending Xfinity Series champion Ty Gibbs, followed by Noah Gragson and A.J. Allmendinger. With that comes the shuffle. At Joe Gibbs Racing, it's a whole new 3-car look. John Hunter Nemechek moves from the Truck Series, and Sammy Smith gets his shot to fill out their 2 full-time rides with Gibbs and veteran Brandon Jones gone. The 19 car will feature a rotating cast of characters. Jones heads to drive for another Hall of Famer, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jones takes Gregson's spot in the number 9 and joins an already formidable team at JRM with Justin Allgaier, Josh Berry, and Sam Mayer. With Allmendinger's exit from the Kaulig Xfinity car, in comes rookie Chandler Smith. He'll go trophy hunting like he did in the Truck Series, joining returning 2021 Xfinity champ Daniel Hemrick. Landon Castle moves into a part-time ride. Over at Stewart-Haas Racing, a familiar face will be back in the 00, as Cole Custer looks to make a splash full-time again, teaming up with Riley Herbst for a solid 1-2 punch. Another welcome back goes to Parker Kligerman. It's been a decade since he ran full-time in Xfinity. He takes the wheel of the number 48 with Big Machine Racing. A pair of young, up-and-coming teams are expanding to 2 cars. Jordan Anderson Racing will field Jeb Burton and Parker Retzlaff, while Sam Hunt Racing will run Kaz Gralla full-time and Connor Mosack for the majority of the year. The names on the doors may look a little different, but the excitement and passion will be just as intense.
Full disclosure, a little behind the scenes in NASCAR Racehub. Larry Mack, his Xfinity folder used to be like this, and now it's like this.
I'm going to give Bobby a test on all that after the show.
It really is mind-boggling, and I thought I had it, and then I watched that, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I don't have it. There is a whole lot going on this year.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at those big 3 that won those 20 combined races, it reminds me of the old George Jones song, Who's Gonna Fill Those Shoes? Because that's a lot of wins. They won 20 of 33 races. And we got so much young, new talent coming. It's going to be fun to watch this year.
What are you looking forward to, Bobby?
All of them. I mean, obviously, 3 gone, but it seemed like there's 12 coming in. Not coming in, but, better rides and different combinations. But, Cole Custer, big fan of his. I think what he did in the Xfinity Series before he went Cup racing, but now going back, I think that's really going to be good for him because he won that race at Auto Club last year. So I think that momentum for him, getting back to where he can kind of feel that race car out, do really good in it. I have my eyes on him to be a contender for the championship and win races along the way.
Yeah, I think 2 of the favorites could be 2 drivers that were not even really full-time in the Xfinity Series. Definitely Cole Custer. I think he's motivated. But I think about John Hunter Nemechek. He ran that 1 year in the Cup Series for Front Row. He's been back in the Truck Series. And he's going to the team. I realize the X Factor, it's a new driver, it's a different crew chief with Ben Bayshore, but that's the 54 team. That's the championship team from last year. I think 2 of the favorites could be the 2 that were not even there last year.
Keep this in mind. Every time these 2 drivers would come back to the Xfinity Series, they had a chance to win or they won. John Hunter put Sam Hunt Racing in position to win many times. When he would drive for Joe Gibbs Racing, he had a chance to win. Cole Custer, you talked about last year when he came back, drove that car for Bobby Dotter, went to Victory Lane out in Fontana, California. So those 2 we know are going to be players. Now some of the mainstays. A guy like Justin Allgaier, when you consider what they did as a whole at Junior Motorsports last year, this veteran driver, he's got to finally get that championship, Larry.
Yeah, his 13th full-time season. But Junior Motorsports, that's the interesting dynamic. Including Kyle Larson's win at Watkins Glen in the 88 car, they won 15 races last year. They put 3 in the championship 4. Dale Jr. says, you know what, I'm going to mix things up. No driver goes to Daytona here next week with the same crew chief they ended with last year. I think Dale Jr. says, I had 75% of the championship field. We still couldn't win the championship. So he mixed some things up over there.
Bobby, we could talk all night about this series because the depth is so great, and there really are many potential drivers that could find their way to Phoenix and win the title.
Yeah, there is. Obviously, I think of, JRM with Josh Berry. You got Brandon Jones over there as well. And, I think about Parker Kligerman. The list goes on, and Larry, I think that we'll be able to sit here on a Saturday and watch Xfinity racing and go, well, I'm not sure who's going to win today because there could be multiple winners. Like last year, there was the big 3, and there's always kind of like that. But I think this year could be a little bit more, a lot more quality teams going forward. And I see a lot of these guys coming back to Xfinity that has Cup experience because that helps.